Hello and welcome to Who Corner to Corner. This is Geoff speaking. I have literally just finished watching Doctor Who Flux, the Halloween apocalypse, and I'm joined by my good friend Paul.
Hi.
And we're also joined by Freya tonight.
Hi.
So Freya is, well, of course, our Who listeners won't know who you are, actually, will they, Freya?
Oh, no, that's true.
Oh, yeah.
So our MCU listeners will, but Freya is Paul's daughter, and she's joined us on one of our Marvel podcasts before, and she's quite into the same sort of stuff that we are, isn't she, Paul?
Yeah, it's strange that, isn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, I've literally just finished watching episode 1. I couldn't watch it live tonight because my kids didn't want to go to bed. But
it's Halloween, isn't it? So
it's Halloween as well.
Sweets and candy, as our American friends call it.
We were trick or treating whilst it was going out, and the kids were having a great time. They were going Halloween houses and running over to places that had pumpkins and stuff and filling up their buckets. So yeah, we were having a different sort of great time doing that. But I feel like you know, when you see a film or something and you're just immediately taken by it, and there's so much to kind of process. And your mind is buzzing. That's where I am right now.
That's where you are. Well, we've had about an hour or so to process it, haven't we?
Yeah.
But I'm still kind of trying to do it. But then my mind isn't as fresh as Freya's.
It takes you a bit longer, doesn't it?
It takes me a lot longer. Yeah. I'm going to have to watch it again later tonight. But oh my goodness, let's just get that one out of the way with. First off, right, let's just kick off because, to be honest, mate, this hit the ground absolutely running, did it not?
Well, or more like it hit the air 70...
Something like that. It hit the air. Go on.
70,000 feet above some acid volcanoes, dangling on a sort of electronic broomstick type of thing, as it became.
The gravity bar, wasn't it? That's what they were calling it.
Yeah,
there was some real comedy in that opening scene. I thought, I mean, it started with them just hanging upside down, didn't it? Which is a little bit that we'd seen in the trailer, and then the whole kind of thing plays out where where the doctor's like she's got handcuffs. What was it she said?
Release.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She said maybe last time I said this I was Scottish. Release.
Scottish. Yeah.
It still didn't open.
It's like, I'm not gonna lie. I think most of this is my fault. And I was like, no, all of this is your fault.
Yeah. They had one of the things I really liked was how Yaz, but she's obviously not policewoman anymore, and she said that to Dan, and she was really confident and knowledgeable, and really the Doctor's co-pilot. Literally, we're flying the TARDIS and stuff. So yeah, I liked the development of their relationship together, and the fact that there was obviously some or many off-screen adventures that we hadn't seen, and it just came straight in on that as an opening. Brilliant.
Yeah, there's a whole series of Big Finish episodes yet to be told there. That's one thing to look forward to. I think when Jodie. When we see the last of her bowing out of the TARDIS, this is going to be really sad. I'm pretty sure we're going to have a lot of Jodie Yaz adventures. 13 Yaz adventures, I should say.
Because obviously we don't know how things go yet, but I can't see that there's the opportunity for any with Dan. Because if it's one continual story,
mate? Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Maybe there'll be something. But But what an opening! I mean, that really felt huge in every kind of sense of the word. The effects work was brilliant on it. It was exciting. It had great music to it. It just went straight in there, like no kind of because some of the episodes
there was no pause for breath. I don't.
No, there wasn't. No,
there was a little bit of it when we went to Liverpool and we saw Bish, didn't we, Dan?
Yeah.
It kind of just sort of took a bit of a breather then but I mean, even that, that didn't take long before it's a nice introduction to his character. We saw him with initially almost like Ruth in Fugitive of the Jadoon, who was a genuine tour guide who turned out not to be a tour guide. And he wasn't a genuine tour guide who turned out to be, again, something completely different. But just a bloke.
I really liked him. He's quite a kind of everyman type of character, but he had a really nice sense of humour to him and things, and being taken into these bizarre situations and doing it quite. He wasn't kind of freaking out massively. But when
he reigned his had a mate who also had a TARDIS, didn't he? Yeah, I got a mate who's got one of these. I think his was a bit bigger.
He did say something like that.
Yeah. Reaction. Typical kind of whatever. I'll take it on the chin. I can deal with this. Not a problem.
And I was going to say, I actually was quite interested in his backstory because when he first appeared, I thought he was a tour guide, and then you kind of realise he's not, and he's just doing it because he wants to. And then you see him at the food shelter. She says, take some soup, and he
won't do it, will he? He wouldn't do it.
And then he goes home, and his shelves are bare, and his fridge is
nothing at home.
He's got nothing at home. So what's led to him, ending up obviously with nothing. So that was quite interesting. That he sort of he's got very little himself by the looks of it, but he's doing a lot for other people.
What do you think, Dan Frey?
It was cool.
It was cool.
There you go. That's the voice of youth speaking right there.
No, cool as in like he was all right.
He was all right. That's good.
Is that youth for it? It was mind blowing, or is that just like it was all right?
No, he hasn't really had much yet. Well, obviously
sorry, you're talking about Dan. Sorry, I thought you were talking about the whole thing.
No, the whole episode was.
Can't see the actions here, but yeah.
Freya just gestured head explosion. Yes, you're right. We obviously have got more to come with him, of course. But as an initial intro, I felt like I kind of warmed to him really quickly and really liked him. So it just, like you said, Paul, it didn't really pause for breath at all, did it? It just charged from one thing to another. Because
I was still trying to piece it all together in my head, Geoff. I'm just sitting here thinking while you're talking, like, what happened next? And when I try to think of what happened next, it's like everything, all of it.
Carvanista turned up, didn't he? And
there was a thing. There's a thing going on with the Doctor there, isn't it? So she was clearly after this Carvanista.
Yes, because
they obviously had an adventure before then to be hovering over what I thought might even have been Marinus or something, or Vortex with its seas of acid, and that kind of that's an old Doctor Who episode. Freya, she hasn't seen that one or those two yet, but I thought it might even be that. And actually, when Carvanista's sort of helmeted head appeared, all sort of shadowy in front of the gravity bar, it looks a bit like a Vord.
Yes,
that's the second time now. Second series in a row. I thought the Vord are going to be making a reappearance, and I'm disappointed again.
You want them to come back?
I want them to come back. I want the Vord back. I mean, that'd be fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, because it looked like them in Spyfall, didn't it? A bit
exactly
and white. Yeah.
And something else, another thing that begins with a K as well. Was it with Chris Chibnall and Aliens that begin with a K?
He likes letter K.
Yeah. I had this guy Carvanista. Who was it in in series 12? The Cardassians or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, not Cardassians. Star Trek. Kardashians. Maybe give it a C. Anyway, LaVille, stop it. Don't hate yourself.
They've obviously. She's trying to hunt down
Kardashians.
The Kardashians.
That's the Kardashians.
That's actually the Kardashians. Well, they're not human anyway, are they?
No.
Some alien race.
They're human.
They're not human.
Yes, they are.
They're human. Sorry, Geoff. Go
on. She was trying to find Carvanista because he was the only member of the division that she could find left alive.
Yeah, that was the thing. I like that one. So we're not losing the timeless child thing, are we?
No.
We can get some more of that.
Yeah, so fairly quickly into that. So when the Doctor had that vision, and she followed the two people on the planet who went to see Swarm, who has now been revealed to be a character itself. Now I suspect they were Division because
they had the guns.
The guns,
See the gun. It was the same gun. I'm pretty sure as they had in series 12. What was her name? The girlfriend Division. Gantz. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the same. What?
I just realised what you were on about.
No, she's got it.
There you go. So, what did you think of Swarm?
Swarm, the blue dude.
Mm.
Oh man, he was freaky, wasn't
he? He was horrible, but in a good way.
Quite nasty.
So he looked horrible, and then he became sort of like glam rock horrible with all of his crystals sticking out of his face and stuff.
I wonder. Sorry, go on. Yeah,
his suit with one power shoulder, big padded pointy shoulder, his flamboyant shirt, his leg stripe on the trousers like Han Solo or something, and I mean the way he talked and everything was pretty horrible, and I really liked him.
No, I thought he was brilliant. Actually, a character of some kind of a very enigmatic character.
Yes.
That's what I'm going for. Enigma, a bit of an enigma. Two or three things about him I thought, actually. Firstly, when, and I thought this when I first saw the promo shots, I thought he might be a Castrian or something, like Eldrand, Hand of Fear,
Right.
Sarah Jane's Last Adventure.
Yeah.
I thought he might be one of those guys. Maybe he still is. I don't know. The whole crystalline thing going on. That could be a thing. And then the other thing I thought as well, when the episode went on a bit, and we're getting towards the end, actually, I think it was the final vision that she had, where the Doctor and he are kind of facing each other, and they're doing that little sort of conversation between them, and they obviously know each other, though she can't remember him yet.
And where he made a comment about something along the lines of,
we're doing this again, we fight again, like the age-old battle.
Yeah.
And it's that thing between, like, so then I thought, oh, maybe he's like a guardian or an eternal or something like that, right? But then I thought, well, like his face is like death. We've got like a symbol of death here.
Yeah.
So, you've got the Doctor, a force of light and life, versus death. You've literally got like life and death, good and evil, that cosmic eternal battle being played out by these two.
He did make a comment about working on her memories as well.
Yeah. There's a lot going on here.
Yeah.
We're going to see a lot more of this. Yeah. I'm looking forward to the rest of it. Honestly, I'm too excited. My words aren't making any sense. I'm so excited.
So,
really make sense anyway,
what's going on with the sister who was in the Arctic Circle? When he came there to get her.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
She kind of was. She was his sister.
Yeah.
She turned. Yeah, she was like turning into.
Yeah, they got a warning thing, didn't they? And they just smashed it up.
It's like no.
No.
So indicates that she didn't want anything to do with it and was hiding out in fugitive style. And then with the woman who Dan was supposed to go on a date with, when she was ended up in the sewer thing, and the other swarm type creature appeared to her. Was that the sister, or was that another one?
I think that was the sister.
Yeah, I think it was the sister.
It was, okay. That's what I thought. Yeah, so that indicates then that she's part of. She's on board with whatever the plan is. But who's that? Who's that woman?
Right. Who's that? And who's everybody? I mean, it's always difficult, I think, with the first episode of a serialized story like this, because so much of it is set up and you're trying to piece it all together and you can't, because you don't have all the information. You just, it's like you just tease certain things. But,
well, that's the whole point of how this sort of stuff works, isn't
it? It is. I love it. I love it, and I get frustrated by it at the same time, because I want to know everything right now. But no, you can't. That's the tease. That's what gets you tuning in.
But that's it. That's the hook to come back, isn't it? Yeah. Because there was the woman that came up to them in the street, and she was
Claire.
Yeah.
That's why I got you in, because you remember these things. I don't remember anything.
And she obviously knew them, and they didn't know her. So that's all a bit.
Yeah.
But she wasn't sure how they knew each other, because she was like, in my past, I think.
Yeah.
And she was like, I don't know. It's like, you sure it's in your past? You don't seem so sure.
and then, so how does that work? Because then we saw her after that get caught by the angel and sent back.
She knew what to do.
She did know what to do, didn't she?
Right. Yeah.
She knew to not blink.
Yeah. So that doesn't quite work or make sense yet either, does it? Because when she sees the Doctor, how does she say, I'm not sure I know you? And then she sees the angel, but knew what to do. And I was going to say she was sent back in time and then lives her life out to meeting the Doctor. But Yeah, there's obviously more.
What an angel was. Yeah,
there's more to see there.
Unless it's like a circle, like a time loop or something.
Could be.
She just does it again and again. But then she's not old, is she?
No.
She's quite young.
No, that's true as well. Yeah, she hadn't aged.
So the long way around, unless of course she's a Time Lord, regenerating.
Could be.
Who knows?
So going back to Carvanista, I thought his mask and the prosthetic and stuff was really good. I like that he was sort of like a northern dog, and the bit when Dan said to him, "You're quite cute," and he rubbed his nose, and it went.
He rubbed his nose. Oh man, you were.
Is that fur real?
That was funny, wasn't it?
He was going, "Yeah, it's quite realistic looking. You've really done well here." He said, "Tell your mum I'm not happy or something," and he said, "Don't you talk about my mother."
Talk about my mother. Yeah.
Tell your mum you've been brave.
Yeah.
But it's another thing I liked about Dan, because his reactions are very sort of real world. You know, you can just see that. You think for somebody who's just not phased as much by these things going.
So it was just Halloween. He was just like, it's just someone dressing up.
Yeah.
And because it's Halloween, it makes it more likely that it could be that.
Yeah, because the Halloween aspect of it didn't kind of really amount to much in the end, other than a couple of manky looking pumpkins and stuff. But you're right, Freya, by having it framed within that, then he's accepting of this dog thing coming in, and then obviously kind of leads to everything. But it felt really natural, and wasn't kind of forced at all.
Yeah.
But I liked then that kind of reveal that he's not the the kind of baddie that you think, and I like that idea of. What were they called? The Lupia or something? And
something like
they've
that.
all got a human partner, and that they have to look after, and that's what they're coming to.
Don't take my human.
Yeah.
I don't want to be your human.
I'm not your human.
You're human. Why'd you lock us off?
So what did you? Oh, so another interesting thing is the TARDIS is leaking some sort of black goo and going all a bit kind of like MC Esau or something, and having doors on the wonk and coming out of the floor and not working properly either, which felt a bit like that's something that they'd had going on prior to this episode.
Do you think?
Because they have the hammer already, and Yaz is like, "Do you want this?"
Good point.
And it's like they whack it.
There was a couple of things that made me think that had been happening before that, but then not the black goo, and certainly not the doors and stuff.
Yeah.
And just the like faultiness,
like entropy kind of leaking through or something. Maybe that's that. I think didn't David Tennant have the hammer, and Eccleston actually didn't they whack it with the hammer?
Yeah, certainly one of them did. Yeah.
But you're right. It's almost like it was just a known thing then, wasn't it? Like, regular thing now, rather than just once every time. It's going to hit it with the hammer.
Yeah, and I like that the central column went red like a brake light.
Yeah, that was right. Yeah, well, it wasn't going to take off when the whole thing's coming towards them. I tell you what, I love it when they mess around with the TARDIS. Some of my favourite old classic episodes are the ones where they've done that. Things like Legopolis, for example, when they. When the Master materializes his TARDIS around the Doctor's TARDIS, who materializes his TARDIS around the Master's TARDIS, and you get that infinite recursion thing, which is really, really creepy. You haven't seen one there yet. It's freaky, I tell you. And then you got things like Frontius, isn't it, where the TARDIS is literally pulled apart by these gravity creatures, and embedded into the rock of a planet, which I thought when I first watched that one is just awesome. And now here again we get the whole things playing around with the sort of spatial geometry things like that.
We got multiple doors
kind of wonky. There's another door which suddenly appears on the floor, and I love all that stuff, because it reminds you, I think, that the TARDIS is an alien artifact. It's constantly changing, it's shifting. It's never ever in a fixed state.
No.
And and the thing is also is that it's like it's our comfort zone. It's the Doctor's home. It's it's the refuge, the sanctuary. The assembled hordes of Genghis Khan can't penetrate those doors, even though they quite often do. But nonetheless, it's that state of grace. It's that safe place, and for it to then to be attacked in some way, whether it's from within or without, it kind of increases the threat. I think anyway. So, and the fact that we don't know what's causing it, all we know is that it must be something really powerful.
Yeah.
Because obviously the cloister bell started going off as well, like dong, dong. Oh my!
And we haven't heard that in Jodie's run at all, I don't think, have we?
No, we haven't. No. When was the last time? Did we hear it in? I think we've heard it since Tennant's days.
Well, maybe not. No. So, what did you think of the Sontarans?
What do you think of the Sontarans?
I don't know.
You don't know. She didn't know. See, now Sontarans for me have always been one of my favourite monsters. From when I was little, they had a sort of mythical kind of status. I just sort of half remembered them from when I was a kid, from watching the Sontaran Experiment and the Invasion of Time. But then, when they sort of came back in the new series with all the blue armor, I liked them. They were great. They were sort of figures of fun. But now they just look astonishingly good.
They do look cool.
Oh, brilliant makeup,
grim and dirty. But very funny still. I think there's still some comedy.
You look disgusting, and then he was just getting.
But I would like them to be brutal. I can't hope in the next episode, the War of the Sontarans, they are pretty. I would like to see them be really thuggish and.
Yes, well, you could tell that the main one was very excited about going to war, and he did the tongue thing as well.
They did the tongue thing. Yeah, that's quite fun. Yeah.
So already there were so many strands of different stuff going on in this, and also stuff like Yaz wanting to find out more from the Doctor about Carvanista and what she's keeping from her there and things like that as well.
See, the Doctor always closes up whenever anybody starts asking her about her past, doesn't she? She sort of deflects.
She doesn't like it.
No, and conveniently able to not answer because something exploded or.
Oh, look, something's going on over there. Yeah.
Now I've just remembered. I wanted to say some of the for a show that doesn't have an enormous budget in comparison to Game of Thrones or something.
Well.
The visuals in this are astonishing. Like seriously. The shot of Vinder, who we'll come to in a minute, his ship when he was looking at the starscape was amazing. And then I'm gonna say this has got to be, in fact, two shots of the best shots that they've ever put in the show. When the TARDIS was on the right hand side of the screen, floating in space, and then later when the three of them had the doors open and they were looking out and the camera moving around it.
Yeah.
Just what an incredible shot.
Deceptively simple, but honestly, the mechanics of building that shot is really something. And I think this is something it's worth bringing to light, actually, because it's something we all forget. We're so used to seeing this sort of thing on a cinematic scale. You go and see, so we do the Marvel podcast as well, and we're used to seeing these kind of visuals.
Yeah.
They have a lot more money.
This is on a BBC television budget, right?
And they looked incredible.
It really did. When the big flux storm thing, the hurricane is literally
the planets getting disintegrated was excellent. Really like. It's the sort of stuff that you like you say, Freya, you'd get it in a film. You don't expect A, that scale, and B, that quality on the show like this.
No, that's it. I mean, in my head when I was a young kid.
And you were a young lad.
Yeah, I didn't speak like that when I was young.
When the show had just started.
I speak like that. It's a time like that. Like I did. I used to be like that. Anyways, but when I used to read all those Doctor Who books, there in my head when I was reading them, that's how Doctor Who looked. It was big. It was cinematic. The special effects were always brilliant. And I have to admit, it was always that slight disappointment when I actually came to watching it on the telly that it didn't quite match the images I had in my head. So, but now it does. That's the thing. It's like it is really something to see that in my favorite show. That level of SFX and everything else going on. I think the only danger is that we take it for granted. So if it does sort of drop off a little bit because they run out of cash towards the end of the season or something, then it's going to be probably quite noticeable. But it's just astonishing. It's amazing.
Yeah, I think They absolutely nailed all of the stuff in it. The
scope of it as well. I mean, it was a big story. You just get the feeling that it's a big story, don't you?
So, what did you think of Vinder? He wasn't seen a huge amount this time.
Well, Yeah, I mean, we're just sort of introducing, weren't we?
Yeah.
You know,
It was a very small amount.
Now, I thought
the space station, though. Space Station Road.
Did you think that his ship thing, his space station thing, looked a little bit like whatever it was that Swarm was attached to, that was touching the surface of that planet?
Oh, yeah. Now you mention it, yeah, I never thought of that, but you could well be right. Yes. Are you inferring anything from that?
Well, maybe he works for the division.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
So yeah, because you saw a couple of big wide shots on that planet with Swarm, and he was on the end of something in the ground, and unless I'm remembering,
like his incarceration.
Yeah, and it was going up above him. There was something there. It might just be a similar kind of shape or something. But now that cliffhanger.
Yeah, the cliffhanger.
Shib said they were starting with season finale type of stuff. And,
well, he didn't disappoint there, did he? I mean, it really was. It's a roller coaster.
Yeah,
I've got no idea what's going on. Let's be honest. There's not a huge amount of stories. But it is. It's just chapter one.
Building.
It's building, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the beginnings of a story.
So. Yeah, I think. This is obviously substantially different to what they do normally. It's not going to be wrapped up in one episode, and I think probably by calling it chapter one, it's trying to hammer home this is the first part of literally the first part of this story, and so any kind of complaints, I guess, about it wasn't wrapped up or resolved. Well, it's kind of not the point in this one because there's 5 more to go. It's
kind of like a thing. If you put them all together, like once you've all got them all, if you put them all together, then they could like be a massive film because
exactly.
It kind of felt like the start of a film.
Yeah, it's a bit like imagine if there was like a kind of murder mystery show about cops in a small town beachside. A kid had been murdered or something. Like Broadchurch or something.
Yeah, really grim. But yeah, you're right. It is like that because I mean, for me, I think that's the key strength of Chibnall's, isn't it? He's got a real, he's got experience in writing that kind of TV. Was it 3 series of Broadchurch?
3, yeah.
A whole bunch of stuff as well, which are probably more standalone. But
of what?
Torchwood. He did some Torchwood as well.
He did
didn't
a bit of Torchwood. He showran.
Showrunner on.
Yeah, he did series 2, didn't he? And maybe series 1. And he did. What was there was a police thing that he did that Bradley Walsh was in, an English version of an American show. I can't remember what one it is.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, was it? LA Law, wasn't it?
Yeah.
LA Law.
Yeah, maybe. And he did that for a while anyway. But it feels already like, I'm just going to say this. It feels like, doing this serialized thing is his strength. And if the rest of this continues like this, it's going to be absolutely awesome.
I think so. Yeah. It is. It's also a thing where we're introduced to characters and we see enough about them to kind of get a flavour of who they are, sort of, but we don't know what role they fill in the bigger drama. We don't even know what the bigger drama is. All we get is these little teasers, these little tantalizing glimpses.
It's like at the end when they showed all like the people and the Sontarans and everything, and it was like just flashes of everybody's faces. It was like, so like how did those people connect to the Flux?
Yeah, some people have taken the opportunity to, go on a rampage and stuff. And, there's lots of, different, the Flux has obviously been, people have known that it's coming. And so there's a lot of kind of, excitement around it, I guess, from the different species. Next week can't come soon enough. In some ways, I'm glad that they haven't dropped it all on iPlayer because I don't think I could stay up till.
You didn't think they were really going to do that, did you?
I didn't know because it's too big a show for them. They wouldn't do that, and particularly something that is this serialized. You kind of want people talking about it. Week by week.
Well, it's trending tonight, that's for sure. It was number 1.
Yeah.
I don't know if it still is at the moment, actually, but it certainly was when the episode closed. It was right up. Oh, yes, it is. There we go. It's still trending.
Is it?
Massively.
So I actually turned my phone off earlier because
I noticed you weren't answering my texts. It was a good job, actually. They were saying not sent, not sent. And I'm sending you like, wow, Geoff.
Well, I turned it off because I glanced at it at one point, and the Doctor Who account had retweeted something saying, what are the division or something, and I thought, nope, that's enough of that. I can't go the next couple of hours with trying to look on my phone at a text or something and seeing Twitter notifications pop up. So I turned it off for a bit.
Quite a few of those coming through.
So I wanted to move up and have a look at. I just seen Jodie Whittaker's trending as well. Brilliant. So we had some tweets come in, didn't we, from people? So I don't know if you've had a look at these yet, Paul.
We have, yes. Shall I read some out?
Yes. One of them I just want to say quickly. The first one I can see is from Kendrick at DDP Kendrick, who has been a regular commentator on the MCU podcast, and he'd been offline for a little while now for various reasons. So he must be back online. So that's nice. Hello, Kendrick. I hope you're okay. But yes, I'm going to hand over to you now, and you can read the tweets out.
There's quite a lot of these, actually, but let's go through a few of them. So Kendrick, who you've just been talking about, said, maybe I'm late, but I thought it was a lot of fun. I hope they focus more stuff on planets and less on spaceships, because I think the show looks nicer on location, but that's less of a this series thing and more of a whole show thing. And also Dan Starkey as a Sontaran again.
So which one was he?
Was he the one in the hologram, wasn't he?
Yeah, I did wonder, yeah.
I thought it was. I wasn't sure, though, to be honest, whether it was him or not.
No.
But, certainly DDP Kendrick seems to think it is. So if that's true, that's awesome.
He was in the episode, but I'm not sure if he was a Sontaran or whether he was just one of the guys in the live museum or something.
Yeah. We've got Spooky Robin in a TARDIS at Jodie's TARDIS 13, who says, absolutely wild and brilliant. I was a bit distracted watching it, so it's getting rewatched later tonight so I can get the details ironed out. I can't wait to see what happens next. This is going to be Jodie's best series, and I love 11 and 12.
Yeah,
Latara Medina, who says, capital letters, crazy episode. I love cosmic Doctor Who, and this is proper cosmic, action-packed, fast-paced. Sagan at his top, and the monsters and the division set up. Mwah! Chef kiss, great cliffhanger. Bring on the war of the Sontarans. Actually, that's something else. Actually, Sagan's music in this was
there was some really good stuff.
Hang on, wasn't it? I mean, it was blimey. I mean, Series 11, a lot of the soundtrack in it was very, it was atmospheric. It was ambient sounds. It was very sort of about evoking a mood. Series 12 came on with a bit more music. This one has just ramped it up a hell of a notch, and that's for sure. Did you notice the music?
Yeah.
Yeah, she noticed the music. Yeah. So that's a good thing. The kids noticed the music. What else? I mean, I won't read all of these out. We've got a lot of them. We've got Mrs. Carvanista, née McCrimmon, our good friend, Mrs. Jane McCrimmon, says a mile a minute story, and I think I won't have a proper handle on it until I watch it again. Lots to love, fast, fun, intriguing, and Carvanista, who I know she's been tweeting about a lot.
She's liked him for that first photo,
and Dan were great. Vinda, perhaps being separate, not so much. And I'm intrigued by how the strands come together. Great opener. I think that's it, isn't it?
Yeah. I'd just like to read out Rich at Rich Harmon 13 as well. So Rich is in our chat group, but he's not been around much for a little while. But he says, every time a Jodie episode ends, I always think it's the best episode ever. You and me both, dude. By that logic, next week's will be unreal. Chapter 1 really was something else, though, wasn't it? Great story, great acting, and those visuals. Whoa, cracking stuff.
Yeah. Blinovich Limitation, Geoff Effects, gotta love the handle, from Gallifrey Gothic, said he adored this. The imagery and the build made me think of everything fraying and falling apart through the season, but the episode has made me think, actually, the season is the Doctor seamlessly meshing the phrase of the Flux back together, ... This was fluxing epic, he puts. We've got Oliver Street at Oliver Street 76 saying, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Lots of emojis and various things. I think the only slightly not quite so positive one we have is from our good friend on the MCU podcast, Multiverse of Mikeness, that I'm Mike Wilson, who says, way too much going on fugitive of the Jadoon syndrome, because it was all set up promising big things, but nothing actually happened. All exposition and no answers, so definitely not eps that'll work on their own. Music frequently drowned out the dialogue. Sontaran design is not for me. Mike!
Mike, you know it's part of 6 chapters. That's why there's
it is.
No
I want to see if Mike's going to turn around by the end of this series.
Yeah, that will be interesting.
I hope it wins him over, but
yeah,
it's not going to be for everybody, is it? That's just the way it is. But there's a lot of positive stuff on here.
So
I think
Michael Donahue at M Donahue 75. Fantastic and lovely to have a part 1 of a long story again. Genuinely intrigued where it's all going, and was pleased to see we're getting more on the Division and Timeless Child Doctors. Now, this one makes me a little bit jealous. This is the Metal Whovian, who is in America. Bloody love it. Can't wait to watch the extended cut in a few hours. Yeah, right. We're not getting that. Yeah, you'll have to tweet us and tell us what we don't get over here.
Things over in America.
Yeah,
not happy about that, mate.
Yeah, they're quite lucky with that.
Not having that one. Right. I want extended scenes over here.
Our friend Cooper Hillier says Chapter 1 was absolutely jaw-droppingly incredible. It was perfect. I have no complaints. I can definitely say staying up for 7 hours was worth it. We should note Cooper is in Australia, so the time difference is substantial for him. Can't wait to rewatch it later. Doctor Who is back. Yeah, brilliant. Thank you, everyone, for all of that. All in all, I've been waiting all episode to say this. I thought that was fluxing brilliant.
Yeah, I think Blinovich Geoff effect beat you to that one.
No, he didn't. No. Stop it, Geoff.
Stop it, Geoff. The 2 Geoffs. See, similar mind. That's what it is. No, it was really good. I really enjoyed it. You know, I mean, to be honest, I'm such a big Doctor Who nerd anyway. You know, I honestly wouldn't care if it was on the back of a cornflake packet. I've sat through those days, you know, when Doctor Who was really cheap and nasty. But you know, the stories have always been what makes this. The stories, the characters, the crazy situations, the heightened melodrama of the whole thing. You know, it's just, it all comes together, and it just creates something that you can just take yourself away from for the best part of an hour or so, and just get lost in it. And, you know, this has the feeling to me as if it's going to be a really cracking story.
Yeah.
You know,
and we sort of talked about this a bit before, and I know that the other Geoff that we mentioned, he's tweeted things like this before as well. But, you know, it's that comfort of the show, and it, you know, just watching it makes me happy. And, you know,
that's beautiful, man. That's a beautiful thing. Happy, then you're happy. I'm happy. Freya's happy. We're all happy.
I could have made it really deep, but I didn't need to.
Save that for episode 6, chapter 6.
When we're picking our brains up off the floor. But we don't want to do an episode that's longer than the episode we're talking about. I mean, you know, we did three podcasts about Endgame, which ended up being longer than the film itself.
Yeah, that was quite an achievement.
Thanks for telling us that, Cooper. So we will be back next week to look at the War of the Sontarans and discuss that. Freya, I hope you'll join us. So we've got the youth angle on it as well. And
you're the youth now.
The youth, YOOF.
I'm not very cool.
You're not very cool.
Well, I'm not.
If you're watching Doctor Who, I think you're cool. I think you know, that's how it works for me anyway. So anyone who's listening, please let us know what you thought of the episode and any theories you've got about things that are going to be coming up. And we will catch you on the flip side of Flux next week.
Oh, that was good. Did you rehearse that?
No.
You just thought of it there and then. That's skill right there, Freya. See, that's what that is. So next time, folks. Bye for now.
Thanks. Bye.